I heard the chandelier before I heard her voice, a soft, trembling ring above the table, right as my mother leaned in and said, "We're only inviting you out of pity, so don't stay long." Forks paused. My sister smirked. My brother kept swirling his scotch like the comment had drifted toward someone else. Heat rushed into my cheeks, but my hand stayed steady as I lifted my glass. I smiled, took one small sip, and stood. No one stopped me. No one even looked up. But 2 weeks later, every single one of them would. Before I keep going, I need to know, has anyone else heard words like these before? If you have, come with me into the rest. Because it didn't end the way they expected. I'm Emma. When I was a kid, the cabin at Lake Marlowe was the only place where I wasn't invisible. My grandfather would take me out to the dock before sunrise, the lake a sheet of silver waiting to wake. He'd place a fishing rod in my hands, steady and warm, while the air smelled like wet pine. At night, we sat by the fire, my fingers sticky with burnt marshmallows, the cedar chest behind us holding the deed he always called ours. "One day," he'd say, "this will be yours to protect." I carried those words like a promise. But after he died, the cabin turned into something else, something they claimed, something I faded out of. My parents folded it into the family place, even though the title sat under my name. Trips were planned in group chats I never got invited to. Photos started appearing around the house, my brother posing with fish he never caught, my sister wrapped in a porch blanket, my parents smiling like they built the place themselves. I wasn't in a single picture. Attention in my family wasn't shared. It was assigned. My brother was the success story. My sister was adored. I was the spare set of hands. When I made honor roll, no one came. When I worked 2 jobs to pay for community college, my mother used me as a warning. Make better choices than Emma. It was never loud, never dramatic, just slow erasure. The night they forgot to set a place for me at dinner. The birthday only my grandfather remembered. The day a teacher called about my scholarship and my parents said, "We didn't know she applied." One summer I tried to speak up. They were planning another cabin weekend. "I'd like to come too," I said. My mother didn't look up from her notes. "All the rooms are taken." My brother snorted. My sister kept scrolling. I stood there holding the groceries they'd sent me to fetch, and no one noticed when I set the bag down and walked out. That was the day I understood the silence they expected from me, and how to survive inside it. 2 nights after the pity invitation dinner, my phone lit up with family group chat updates. They were planning the annual cabin trip. New grill photos. Matching family shirt ideas. Guest room lists. My name wasn't mentioned. Not as a guest. Not even as an afterthought. Scrolling through it felt like watching a play I'd been removed from but somehow still credited in the paperwork. Then an email notification. A joint account I barely remembered agreeing to. My name beside my mother's. My profile linked to property tax autopay. For the cabin payments I never authorized. The kitchen went quiet. Too quiet. I set the phone down. It vibrated against the table like something trying to crawl back into my attention. I didn't pick it up. I just sat by the window until the city lights blurred into the glass. And then something settled inside me. Not anger. Not hurt. Just clarity. A small, almost invisible smile. The kind they never noticed, but they would. The next morning I woke early, made coffee, opened my notebook to a fresh page. Sell the cabin, close joint accounts. Call lawyer. 3 clean lines. A plan built from silence. I pulled open the old filing cabinet, my unintentional archive of years of documents, and found the deed. Yellowed. Smelling faintly of cedar to 7:14 a.m. I called Dan. I need to sell the cabin. He paused, fully waking. Your family uses it, don't they? They do, I said. But they don't own it. Another pause. A realization settling in. Send me the paperwork. I scanned the deeds, sent the files, logged into the bank portal, and started closing things one by one. Accounts, credit lines, auto payments tied to my name. With every click, another domino fell. My sister texted, "Are you coming to the trip or not?" I ignored it. By noon, everything tied to me was severed. Silence filled my apartment. Not empty, but mind up. By evening, Dan texted. Cash buyer secured. Closing soon. I approved it. Just like that, the cabin was gone. The fallout. My sister exploded first. Who changed the cabin lock code? Mom's freaking out. Emma, what did you do? I didn't open the thread. Then my mother sent a blurry photo of failed bank accounts and red notifications. No words. She didn't need them. My brother called. Then again. I let every ring fade. Finally, a thud at my door. The buzzer. It's Dad. His voice didn't sound like command. It sounded unsure. He stepped inside, breath heavy. Is it true? Did you sell the cabin? Yes. You closed the accounts? Removed your name? Yes. Do you understand what you've done? I nodded. Completely. His shoulders sagged, something collapsing inside him. You've made your point, he whispered. I straightened. No, I said. Not yet. I slid an envelope across the counter. Dan's letter. You should read it. He didn't argue. He just turned and left. And for the first time in years, the silence he left behind didn't swallow me. It open. After the next morning was bright, soft, coffee, sunlight. A city moving without asking anything from me. My phone buzzed. Mom wants to apologize. Please talk to us. We didn't know things were this bad. I let the screen dim. The deed was gone. The accounts closed. The legal notices already on their way. Nothing symbolic, nothing dramatic, just decisions. And for the first time I felt grounded, like someone standing on a porch after a storm, hearing the world breathe again. I remembered my grandfather's words. Protect what's yours. In the end, protecting it didn't mean clinging to the cabin. It meant releasing the place I once belonged. But no longer did it. I didn't cut my family off. I simply stopped signing my name under their chaos. Some endings don't slam shut. They settle soft and final, like a door easing closed on its own. And if you've ever reclaimed your quiet, even once, you know the sound it makes. It isn't loud. It isn't angry. It's a soft click. The sound of a life finally belonging to you. If you've lived through something like this, let your voice be heard. Share what stayed silent the longest.